Ya teman-teman, hei, kepalanya keluar! Whoa! Whoa!
Sometimes the most dramatic of things happen just outside our homes. Dueling stags, aggressive leopards, invasive alligators, walking fish, along with the most eerie and strangest creatures ever. Here are the most outrageous things found outside homes. Teen pushes bear. We don't know if it's sheer bravery or plain instinct, but a girl came face to face with a mother bear when it was time to protect her dogs. The mama bear was roaming and trying to climb the fence of the house when the dogs spotted her and came barking at her. The bear attacked them, but the teenage girl appeared just in time and pushed the bear away with her bare hands. Later on, the girl said that it was nothing planned out or an act of bravery, but rather just a protective instinct to save her dogs. Flying lemur. A man found a really weird creature in his backyard, and honestly, that flapping thing gave him the shock of his life. He thought of it as some Godzilla or dinosaur type thing that landed on his lawn. But then, we found out that it was a poor flying lemur that had a string attached to its neck. It must have been excruciating. I hope they freed the poor animal afterwards. Alligator invasion. The alligators of Florida are world famous for invading houses. Sometimes they peek into the kitchen for snacks, and sometimes are seen climbing the doors of houses. What recently made headlines is this clip, in which a man used a bin to catch an alligator. Now that's ingenious. Man, I'm impressed. Leopard in backyard. India is notoriously famous for leopard invasions in their villages. Wild animals often find their way into Indian communities, and this one here ended up in the backyard of a farmhouse. A kid saw it and informed the rescuers. After a long time, they cornered the leopard and caught it in a net. Another similar incident, where a leopard was caught by some men in a net, happened in Maharashtra, India. The leopard was spotted by a housewife who saw it entering through the backyard into the house. The leopard was then rushed out of the house by some people, where these men were waiting with the net. The police were present on the scene, and in seconds, a crowd of dozens of people was gathered around it. Bears in pool. Bears are notorious intruders, and they often end up where they're not expected at all. This time, it was a pool. Given the scorching heat, the decision of the mama bear to take a bath is not at all unjustified. And after spending some time, she decided to leave with her cubs. That's all cool if you're on the other side of the wall and a bear family comes in. Think of this man and his fright when he was interrupted by a bear. Pride of lion in backyard. A man opened the back door of his farmhouse in South Africa only to find a pride of lions resting in his backyard. There were 6 big cats with some cubs, and they were all taking a nap on the patio. The lions didn't seem to be startled by the couple, but at the sound of the door closing, they all phased out. Snakes mating in backyard. These 2 snakes finally found a way to spend some private and intimate time with each other in a backyard. But this man ruined it all. Now they will spend their intimate time together in a bag. A backyard fairy. This entry might raise some eyebrows, but a group of teenagers found a fairy in their backyard. Well, not found, but rather spotted it when they saw it on their camera. Yep, it was the footage from a security camera placed in a backyard where an alleged fairy was spotted. The figure does look like a fairy with a little body attached to a set of wings. We really don't know if it was real or not, and it kind of tickles me. But guess what? We'll have to deal with it. Dog versus king cobra. If you don't want cobras to invade your house, show them all this clip. Yeah, I know it's not possible, so getting a dog like this is the best deal you can get. Dogs have a natural instinct to fight snakes, and when this one spotted a king cobra, he didn't hesitate to confront it. The dog in this clip is so intelligent that whenever the snake moves his head up to attack, he knows the threat, retreats back immediately, and then goes for any part of its body where it would be harmless to attack. Once the snake is submissive, it goes for its head. In the end, the poor cobra was half dead. Deer stuck in fence. This man heard the crying sounds of an animal in his backyard and decided to go out. The desperate calls were coming from a fence, and when he went on to see, he saw that the paw of a deer was stuck in the fence of his backyard. He tried to calm the animal down and then helped it get free. Fox wedged in a tree. No one knows how this aggressive fox ended up being there, but the man was called in for a rescue by the homeowners who saw this fox all squeezed between a tree. Now, the fox was definitely embarrassed and frightened, and she furiously refused to be rescued. When the man tried to get her neck, she was in no mood of letting him do that. After some serious hard work, the man managed to extract her out of the tree. He checked if she was doing fine before releasing her. Walking fish. Also known as the walking fish, this is the climbing perch, a fish popular for being the most energetic and powerful fish in the world. They are often seen walking on the roads to cross and reach a new pool of water if their current pool becomes inhabitable due to low levels of water. Frozen squirrel. A grandma found a frozen squirrel on her wooden staircase, and out of hundreds of things that could have been said to the dead squirrel, she asked her to wake up.
Wake up. Wake up, squirrel.
Grandma was spookily unaware of her death, and honestly, I was horrified after watching her beat it with a stick.
Wake up, squirrel. I said wake up.
Elephants in a lodge. This entry had stumped the wildlife experts for years. There's a certain lodge in Zambia called Mfue Lodge, where every year an elephant family comes in to spend some time. This bizarre phenomenon starts with the elephant family, led by a matriarch named Wonky Tusk, climbing up the stairs of Mfue Lodge and grace past reception without even bumping a small chair. This has become an annual routine of the lodge, and tourists from all over the world come to see this spectacular sight. The elephants, who remain so calm in the lodge, become aggressive as soon as they step out. Experts say it is the trust they place in the crew of the lodge which makes their demeanor so calm. Birds invade house. This entry is no less than a Hollywood movie scene. But a flock of around 1,500 birds had invaded a house in California. They all gathered around the house and attacked the insides by entering through the fire chimney. No kidding, it was as if they were under some spell from Harry Potter. Who knows? The homeowner even called animal control for help, but they asked him to keep the door open, and that's it. But the birds were everywhere. It took 3 days to remove those 1,500 birds one by hand. And the mess they left? Well, it must have taken weeks to clean that. Crocodile attacks fishermen. This viral clip hails from Australia, in which 2 young men went fishing on the lake at the back of their neighborhood when they spotted something big coming out of the water. Now, I don't expect a huge saltwater crocodile coming out of a frickin' lake, but that was Australia. You can expect the doomsday there any day. The boys ran for their lives, and in the end, they were cursing the croc for eating their barramundi, and I'm like, dude, be thankful it was not your leg in its jaws. You're crying over a damn fish. Bald hedgehog. This weird thing was caught by these homeowners in their backyard garden, and at first, they were terrified by this creature. I mean, just look at that. Even I would have dropped it. It was just a hedgehog with no spikes. Yep, a bald hedgehog. It was named Baldy, who was believed to be around 3 years old and has been declared healthy by the vets. Several tests and rounds of checks have finalized that this baldness was due to some congenital reasons, and Baldy was completely healthy otherwise. This picture has been taken from a clip in which a man digs around to take a python out of it. This man is a professional snake collector, and he was called by villagers when a woman spotted a snake eating their chicken. The man dug the snake out, and looking at its body, it was evident that the python had just eaten something and was napping then. It's scary if such huge snakes live near your house, isn't it? Dueling stags. Imagine waking up in the morning to a pair of stags fighting each other to the death, entangled in your fence wires. Many of you might think of calling for help, but there was no time for it, and these two farmers knew it. It was not far away that one of them might have been strangled by wire or gored by another one to death. The stags were fighting hard while being badly stuck in the wires. Though there were quite some near misses, the brave man managed to free them both one by one. In 2018, a massive tornado was recorded on a dash cam. The man took real care while recording it, as we can clearly see how it formed and got bigger with time. According to the man, that was the most photogenic tornado he had ever seen. Well, can't argue with him, can we? This video from a dash cam shows a man driving his truck late at night with not many cars or people around. As he goes on, we see a number of people trying to block the way by some tree branches which they had laid on the road. As the driver tried retreating, they all ran towards him with sticks and stones in their hands, which they threw at him. Good thing the truck had not much difficulty with going over the obstacles they had all put on the highway. This man was going on his way when a man came out of nowhere and stood in front of his car. He was not doing anything but just standing there, staring inside the car at the driver, which obviously was enough to freak him out. He slowly started walking towards the car, which forced the driver to retreat. Luckily, the cop the driver had called came on time to get the man out of the way. If you ask me, he looked possessed. What do you think? Dash cams are quite famous for capturing accidents, but what about a truck sliding straight towards you and stopping just at a few inches gap? And then we have this guy whose car stopped working, so he got out to give it a push. But the car had other plans in its mind. It wanted freedom of driving, so it went all on its own with the man running behind. Now, army tanks on the road are not something very usual itself. But then we have these armored vehicles losing control at an intersection and hitting the car, which happened to come in the way of its, boss-like turn or something? Well, you decide. Road rages are something we're all well aware of. Usually, they're like shooting and fighting and getting angry. But this one is something we should all learn from. With a man getting out of his car all angry over something the other one did, and then the other one went to face him too. They both were all in for a fight, but then the man thought it better to take a punching bag out of his car and settle their differences in a very gentlemanlike way. This poor trolley guy was recorded on a dash cam installed in a car. A bad day for the guy, you can say, as at first, his trolley chain broke in two. Then he tried stopping the bigger one, and the short one hit the car. So he went to check it, and then the bigger one had created a mess which he had hardly stopped, just to notice the short one running away. In short, a few moments in the tragic life of the trolley guy we got to witness. This guy stopped his car on a zebra crossing, so the one crossing the road had no other option than to cross it the way he did. And this vehicle not just went out of control, but gave the onlookers a nice show on the road too. Good thing it was captured on the dash cam. From one man putting the trash with style to another woman putting it in just the right way. And finally, we have a woman trying to throw the bad food in the bin in a moving car. And then, well, falling off. A man recorded something which was both shocking and amusing at the same time. Somewhere in Canada, a man was able to record a real-life Batman on camera at the exact moment when he was being pulled over by the police. However, according to the people, the officer was only trying to get a photo with him. Can't blame her, I would have too. This police officer and the cow decided to have a duel, which was captured by dashcam. And well, the cow seemed to be winning here. And this might be the funniest insurance scam ever, as the biker did not just backrun his bike into the car's bumper, but also jumped on it. However, as soon as the woman told him that she had a dash cam in her car, he thought it better to run away. A creepy man was caught on a dash cam late at night. The man was driving when he saw some obstacles being put on the way to stop traffic from going past them. He saw another car with a strange man standing near it on the highway too. As the man stopped his car, the other guy started getting closer, which kind of freaked him out. The strange man reached in his pocket, maybe trying to pull out a gun or something. Well, we don't know much, as the man hurriedly made his car past the obstacles and drove away from it.
What's going on? Run.
While driving a car peacefully, this man came across a strange person who jumped in front of the car out of nowhere and laid straight on the road, as if he had just had an accident or something. He was busy on his phone, totally forgot where to turn, and ended up feeling off the bike. And here, we've got two cars on the red light having a dance battle in a, well, weird way. And this man, while trying something new before cleaning his car, ended up flying and then falling on the ground in a hilarious way. This footage was a must include, as we see a woman struggling with parking her car. We all have bad days, but this man had a wet and a bad day when a car went by splashing a lot of water on him. And this man was cycling, lost in his own thoughts, and he did not notice the toll bar coming down and fell. From people falling here and there, and from idiots driving their cars, let us move on to this weird clip, where a man was caught on a dash cam wearing a strange mask. The woman in the car first thought it was some kind of a prank, as she was laughing continuously. But then we hear her screaming, and we all know that it was no funny prank going on over there. This picture shows us a mysterious boy with something in his hand coming towards the camera. And this man captured a creepy man standing at the side of the road and did not even move when the car went past him. Any normal man would have moved a little at least. The person who saw it thought it was a ghost or something and said he was too scared to look back and see if he was still there or not. You may not notice him at the first time, but if you look at it carefully, you'll see how weird it might have been to witness in real life. Imagine traveling late at night, and then you suddenly come across a man standing in the middle of the road, not moving even an inch when the cars drive past him. If I were to witness it, I would surely freak out. But well, let us tell you, it was not a man or any ghost, but a cardboard cutout, which someone had put there to scare people away. If you look closely at the footage when the car moves past it, you'll surely notice. And well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.